Hello and welcome to Bonsai. First of all, please subscribe to Bonsai's channel. Please turn on the little bell so we can get notified when we put on new videos. We try to make good videos and please support the channel. Today we're gonna talk about fertilizing small pots using organic fertilizers, because small pots are indeed a challenge. Indoors we don't have the same luxuries as we do outdoors, and but in the same time we have different problems with bonsais, and outside there are some other problems. There are good things and bad things indoor, good things and bad things outdoor. It's pretty tricky even to water such small pots, but I mean indoor, but even trickier to fertilize them, because today I want to talk about organic and solid fertilizers. The liquid ones are not a problem, but the solid ones, because they are so big, they're a problem for little pots. So let's talk about that today. This is what I'm gonna be using today. This is Tamahi. These are pellets of Tamahi. Tamahi is one of the best fertilizers, organic fertilizers in the world. It's a Japanese recipe and they're very good. As you can see, there's some white portions, okay, spots on them. This is because this has microorganisms in it, okay, when it's made, in order for these pellets to break down and to be synthesized, because they are not. This is their raw form, and they need to be processed by living things, fungus and living microorganisms that that manage to break them down and to turn them into something that the tree can take, because the tree cannot take it like this. It doesn't have a mouth like like an animal, so they need to be synthesized. But as you can see, they're pretty big. I cannot put them like this, you know, because they will fall off, yeah. And because this is full of microorganisms, okay, this, when it gets moist, it gets watered, those microorganisms will come to life and start to decompose it into fertilizer, compost. Tell it what you want to tell it, but that's the logic with organic fertilizers. This is not cheap, but it's very good. You cannot find it in the shops. You have to order it from bonsai shops, okay, online, or you can go to them, but I recommend this Tamahi. It's very good. Today I want to show you 3 methods which I use to fertilize such little pots with this. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so what I can do now is take my concave cutters and break them into small pieces. Okay, I don't know, I got a small piece here, but you'll see the problem. I can shove it in like this, but it doesn't stay too long. If I water them, if I spray them with water, yeah, they will stay, but it's, you see, it already had destroyed a piece of moss here. But the problem is only the part that hits the substrate will stay moist. And I told you, I talked about it, this needs to stay wet in order to decompose. So what I've noticed during the years is that only the part that hits, okay, the substrate will decompose, and the top part, because the air is so dry in my apartment, will remain like that, and I don't like that. Okay, so method number one, you can use, these are tea filters. Okay, this is paper, so I can turn them into little pieces and put them inside my plastic bag. I also can turn them into more finer, like dust. Okay, but for the sake of the argument, let's do it like this. Okay, and take my tree, put it like this. Using a toothpick, ordinary one, I can dig a hole, and here's my fertilizer. As you can see, this is not okay for me. If this would be a bigger pot, maybe it was okay. I've tried this method, it kind of works, but the same problem. Because of the dry air, this dries out. Only the bottom part that stays on the moss or on the substrate remains wet, and it decomposes. And when you water, it decomposes little by little, and the liquid goes through the paper bag and into the pot. But if you can see, this is ugly. That's not a problem. The problem is if I water this, all the water will flow outside of my pot, make a huge mess. The pot won't be watered correctly, and that's bad. So, and also this can work, I told you, for bigger pots, but be careful for indoor bonsais. It's good, but it stinks. It stinks for like 2 weeks like crazy. So there are possibilities to use this correctly, but I don't like it for me here. So this is one method. You can see this is wet here, but I told you I don't like it. Also, it's good because this is a slow release fertilizer, because it takes time to decompose, and it lasts theoretically for about 3 or 4 weeks until all of it decomposes and gets into the bonsai soil, and the roots can take it. This is a coffee grinder. This is the second method, and I like it the best. This is my favorite method. So just put the pellets hole in there, turn it on, shake it a little bit, just a little bit more. Okay, and now we have powdered Tamahi. So I use a cup. Okay, put the lid on. Sorry, put the lid on, and this is good to be stored. What I'm gonna do now is make sure that my soil is, my substrate, okay, is nice and wet. Always before you use fertilizer, it doesn't matter if they're liquid or solid, always make sure that your bonsai container is wet, because the roots, otherwise the roots will suffer. Okay, so make sure it's wet and leave it a little bit. Ideally wet the bonsais in the evening the previous day before you do this. So what can I do now? What I can do now is to take a little teaspoon and just powder it little by little. Okay? Not too much. Okay? And if I let it be, now there's two possibilities what you can do right now. You can water straight away. If you water straight away, let me show you what happens. Gentle. This will go almost instantly into the pot. Okay? So this is method 2A. Method 2B is like this. I did the same, water the tree. I'm coming in with a teaspoon, so little by little, okay? Now, the substrate it's wet. What can I do in this method 2B is leave it like this, and I don't water. What will happen is that this Tamahi will start to get moist, and it will stay there because it's kind of sticky. And what will happen is if I don't water now, I'm starting to water tomorrow, this will stay a lot more time on it like this, because it will dry up, it will get wet, and it will get mold on it. It will turn white, and that mold will start to break it down little by little by little by little. So the conclusion for method 2 is that method 2A is it will gonna be faster. This is also of course, when we make this fine into a powder, it's you must remember that it's more and more faster. This is slow release because it's hard to break apart a piece so big like this, but when it's powdered, when it's fine, it's not so slow releasing anymore, it's faster. So this won't take 4 weeks to run out. Okay, the tree will take it much faster. Of course, when I watered now, there is a big possibility that a lot of it drained out with the water, but it will stick to the soil. Okay, this one is the method 2B, is slow release. Okay, it will take time. I told you the mold will come and break it apart. It will go in little by little by little by little. Okay, but it will all of it will go in. If I leave it like this, I'm gonna show you what happens because of the dry air. This is an acacia tree that I'm growing and I've grown it from a seed. It's a nice tree. I think it will be very nice. I cannot get it all into the frame. Okay, again, a tree from Africa. We'll talk more about it. But here's the thing that I wanted to show you. All of this is Tamahi. Okay, all of these little pellets is Tamahi that I put on, I think 3 months ago. And if you can see, they are still there. Okay, they have not decomposed properly, and this is not a good method for me. So what I prefer is method 2A or method 2B. Okay, I'm going I'm liking method 2A better because it's winter now. Usually in the winter I don't use too much organic solid fertilizer. I use only most of the part liquid fertilizers. We will be talking about liquid fertilizers in another video. And I like this better in the winter, okay, because the air is drier. This won't be able to stay moist all the time. So that being said, let's water this down. Careful, 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 careful. Okay, and here we go. I put a lot of it on this one. Of course, some of it remains on the top surface, and it's very fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So this is how you rush the slow release fertilizer, and this is how you can successfully fertilize small pots in bonsai. This is method 3. I've got here a 2-liter plastic bottle, and what I'm going to do now is put some Tamahi pellets into it. I'm gonna break them down. I'm not gonna put them whole because first of all they don't fit through the through the top of the bottle, but also they decompose faster. Here I go. They all go to the bottom eventually because they take on water and they're heavier. I put in about 3 pellets per liter. I can use 4, but 3 pellets it's enough for now. And now we're gonna put the top on. Oh my god, the sun is shining like crazy. And we're gonna shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, you can see it's starting to break down, and the water is starting to get some color to it. So this is the faster method. You now need to let this decompose and ferment for 2 or 3 days. It depends on the heat, but do not keep it more than 3 days because it will stink like hell, like crazy. Okay, so this is the third method. It's the faster method for fertilizing with organic. Okay, and when you go by the bottle, just shake it, shake it, shake it as much as you can every day for 2 or 3 days, and you can then put it onto the trees. But be careful. This, you have to have guts for this because it stings like crazy. So you can use this method in the summer when the windows are opened, or if you have an open balcony. You can use this without problems, but indoors, never use this method. It's the fastest method for the tree, for the bonsai to take up the nutrients, because it's gonna ferment, it stays in the water, it stays moist, but it stinks. It stinks badly. Okay, you have no idea. So please subscribe to the channel if you like. I hope I can be very helpful. I hope you can understand what I say. I hope this will be good information for you. I'm talking about I'm trying to share my knowledge with the beginners. I'm not a huge great bonsai artist, but I want to show tips and tricks for beginners, and I think I will be doing very soon a series of tips and tricks for the beginners in the bonsai art to understand what we are trying to achieve in this art and try to understand the trees. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.